Now we're going to change gears and paint a clear picture, so to speak, on a San Francisco-based company whose business is polyurethane. It's one of the most widely used materials in the world. It's everywhere, in your walls, your mattresses, your car, and even your kids' diapers. Did you know, however, that polyurethane contains a toxic component called isocyanates, which is a potential carcinogen and can cause asthma and other respiratory problems? Hybrid Coating Technologies is the only company in the world to make polyurethane without harmful isocyanates. Let's hear more about their Safer Green polyurethane, Safer Green, with Joel Cohen. He's the company's strategic advisor. Joel, thanks for joining us here on New to the Street.
Thank you, Ken.
Joel, tell me what your role is with the company.
Sure. I'm a strategic advisor to the company, so I assist them for the past 4 years to grow from a commercial standpoint and working on entering into agreements with large potential partners.
Joel, for most of us, we've heard the word polyurethane, and a lot of us, including myself, don't know what it is or how it's made or what it's used for.
Polyurethane is a $50 billion industry, and it's used to make a wide range of commercial products that are used by consumers in everyday life, such as you said earlier, diapers, in the walls for insulation, in the automobiles, in the upholstery of the cars. It's used as a protective coating for the paint on automobiles. It's used in refrigerators, coolants. It's used in couches, mattresses, and many other applications.
Staying on that subject, we mentioned the word green, and Hybrid Coating Technologies is big on green. In fact, you guys make a product called green polyurethane. What is green polyurethane?
Sure. So all polyurethane, as you said earlier, is made with a toxic component called isocyanates, except for the company's technology. Its polyurethane product is made without any isocyanates whatsoever.
So isocyanates connotate something that is toxic to people and the environment?
According to the Center of Disease Control in the U.S., isocyanates are a potential carcinogen, as you said earlier. It can cause asthma, respiratory problems, and even death.
Is any legislation being done anywhere to stop the use of isocyanates?
Absolutely. Well, in 2011, the U.S. EPA issued a report on the dangers of isocyanates, and they also expressed their desire to potentially control and outright ban isocyanates altogether in the industry. And they mention Hybrid's technology as the commercial alternative to toxic polyurethane in their report. And the U.S. Department of Labor last year issued an action statement to rid isocyanates from the workplace. And most recently, the Department of Toxic Chemical Substances of California zeroed in on isocyanates out of a list of 1,100 different toxic components. They focused on isocyanates and basically said that they want the industry to start looking at alternatives. And in 24 months, they could potentially pull products from shelves if isocyanates were still present.
And Hybrid Coating Technologies already has an answer to that. You guys are going away from that, and you have a clean, safe alternative for both people and planet.
Yeah, Hybrid's technology, which is an award-winning technology, they received a prize from NASA called the NASA Nano 50 for one of the 50 best nanotechnologies in the world. It has a patented formulation for polyurethane which contains no isocyanates whatsoever.
What is the company's commercialization strategy and technology going forward?
Sure, the company is working on signing commercialization and joint development agreements with Fortune 500 company partners in various sectors of the polyurethane industry. The company is in talks with many companies or many such partners, and there are three companies where the company is close to signing commercial agreements with in various industry segments of polyurethane.
When is the company slated to sign these significant agreements?
The first joint development agreement is expected to be signed probably in the next 3 to 4 months.
And what is the company's overhead at this time as we do this in 2014?
So the company burns about $750,000 of cash per year, which is very low for what it's doing. And that's part of its overall strategy to conserve capital. One of the things the company does not have is its own manufacturing facility. It has toll manufacturing contracts in place with different facilities that manufacture polyurethane as needed. The company's capacity of manufacturing today is $150 million per year, so it has plenty of capacity, but it doesn't have to pay for that overhead. Plus, the strategic route of signing deals with Fortune 500 companies means that Hybrid doesn't have to spend any marketing, sales, distribution, or warehousing expenses associated with revenue as it starts to commercialize its product because its partners will bear these costs.
So the company has significant low expenditure and high capacity output, which is a really positive business model for any business.
Absolutely. As sales will start to ramp, the overhead will stay relatively flat for all the reasons that I just mentioned.
Now, all of us here at New to the Street like to put faces on the people and bring out the personalities of the people behind the company and the company itself. What do you want our viewers to know about yourself and about the officers of the company and the company?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, what's very important is that there is a fundamental legislative shift which seems to be moving forward in the industry with respect to trying to control and potentially outright banning isocyanates in polyurethane. And hybrid technology has award-winning technology that addresses this fundamental shift, that the company's products are at least as good to competing products in the market today, but are not more expensive, sometimes even less. Sometimes green companies have a green solution, but it's not commercially viable because it's too expensive or the product isn't any good. In this case, it's a great product. It's not more expensive. It addresses a huge need. And the proof of that is that all these Fortune 500 companies, the companies in talk with, these companies approached hybrid directly because they know that things are changing in the industry and they need to adjust their supply chain before things are too late for them.
How are you guys able to make a higher quality product with a low expenditure and maximize your profit? How is it that the company can do this when it comes to green, when we've heard stories about everything else with green costing more?
Sure. So the green aspect is just a different chemical process for making polyurethane that's patented. But the raw materials that the company uses are off-the-shelf raw materials, so they're not any more expensive than regular materials used to make polyurethane. It's the different formulation that is the key to making it green and safer because it does not use isocyanates, but the costs remain the same. And because of this different formulation, the company is able to make a product that is at least as good as premium products on the market today.
It sounds like you can't have a better business model than what's going on there now.
We're very excited.
Where do you see hybrid coating technologies in the next 4 to 5 years?
Well, like we talked about our business strategy, we expect to hopefully have signed at least 10 different agreements in 10 different segments of the polyurethane industry, such as one in upholstery, one in mattresses, one in couches, one automotive, et cetera. And conservatively, we expect those contracts to bring revenues upwards of $100 million to the company, which would only be a fifth of 1% of the entire industry. So
you're helping people and planet at a lower cost, and the company's thriving because of it. It's a good business model.
Absolutely.
I hope you come back and keep us up to date here on New to the Street with the progress of the company.
Love to, Ken.
Thanks for joining us, Joe.
Pleasure.
To learn more about hybrid coating technologies, you can visit hybridcoatingtech.com. We'll be right back.